Assalamu alaikum friends, welcome to the day 7 of the 21-day challenge Learning SQL with Muhammad Nisar Khan. Hope everybody is doing good, everybody is doing fine. And today is our day 7. And yesterday we had a wonderful session and it went for around 2 hours and 30 minutes, which was good. And today we have on agenda, it's about trends, comparison and analytical storytelling. And today we will be focusing on these aspects. And before moving forward, yesterday we stopped at a query. Friends, I think so. I got it. I understood the whole query because before this query, I was only working with the single query setup. There was nothing about nested setup before this, but in this query we have what we call a sub query mechanism which we have used, and I asked the Google AI for some help here to explain me this query, and I think so I understood it very well now. It says that in SQL, this structure is called subquery or nested query. Okay. It is used to perform calculations in two distinct steps. So whenever you have two different steps to solve single problem, that is when you use nested query. Now it is giving me example, and I don't know what a Russian doll is, but still, think of it is think of it like a set of Russian dolls. Okay, okay. The inner query does the first job. The inner query, okay, this query to from to no 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 this is the inner query which I've highlighted. This is the inner query. It does the first job, and the outer query uses the results to finish the work. You see, you understood it? Let me read it again. Think of it as like a set of Russian dolls. I don't know what a Russian doll is. So the inner query does the first job. So this is the inner query. The inner query is select the sales order. No, I would make it a little bit more easier for you to read because it is too professional. Yeah, this is more like it. Okay, now this is the inner query. This is the inner query, my friends. Okay, now what is happening in this inner query, that it is selecting the sales. It is from the fact internet sales. First it is selecting the sales order number, and then it is summing the total sales amount as order total, and then it is grouping them, and it is grouped them by sales order number. So with this we have calculated the first job, which was one of our distinct calculations to solve that one question. Okay, and then with this result, the result from this is stored where? It is stored as order total. Then the outer query takes the average of this order total. Okay, you got it. So this then the outer query uses this result with the order total and takes its average as average order value, and that is how we calculate our average order value per order. So we will move forward now. Why use select and from twice? Okay, you are asking two different mathematical questions that cannot be solved at the exact same time. Okay, so why we use two selects and two froms, or why do we felt the need to use nested queries? It was because I was asking. So day 7 is officially on. Now what does day 7 says? Day 7 is on. Let's go. Welcome to analysis plus storytelling day. Okay, from today it is not just numbers, it's insight. Aha. Rules stay the same. Rules of the game are the same. No hints, no column reminders, no training wheels. Pure business decisions. You decide tables, joins, logic. I am in an executive review mode now. Okay. ChatGPT is getting serious now. Day 1. Question 1. Trend analysis. Friends, after a long and deliberate brainstorming and some active research around the web, I had come up with this query to solve question 1, which was how has the total sales changed year over year. Now I have used the typical sentencing which I have used to calculate this calendar year and the total sales for each calendar year. Now after that, I do not understand the year on year change and how to work on it because it's a new term for me. So I asked ChatGPT about it, okay? And then I said that I struggle to calculate the year on year change, and I also told him to be more strict, okay? Do not pamper for everything, just be strict and give me a corporate environment. So the review, it started reviewing my code, and it gave me the assessment that it was acceptable but incomplete, okay? This query shows annual total sales. It says that this query shows annual total sales, but it does not show the year on year change. Yes, it does not show the year on year change. In a corporate setting, this would be returned for revision. In a corporate setting, it says that this would be returned for revision. You correctly identified the struggle that is expected. Now we fix it. Now he's saying that we expected that you won't be able to do it because it is CTE. I think so. We have moved to a more advanced version after joins. It is the common table expression. So I am struggling at this point. So okay. So why this is not year on year? Okay. So whatever I have written here, why is it not year on year? Because it is showing the total sales for each year, but it is not year on year. Why? It is because the a year on year change, a year on year metrics would would answer that how did this year perform compared to last year. Okay, so that means that a YOY is not just simply values of each year so that you can see that, oh, we have performed. No, 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 you have to compare these years. You have to compare these years. So this means that you need current year sales, you need previous year sales, and you need to compare them. You need current year sales, previous year sales, and most importantly for a YOY you need to compare them. Okay, so a simple group by year is not an analysis, it's an aggregation. Okay, so this is some daunting expression from ChatGPT. It says that if you group by simply by year, that is not an analysis, it is aggregation. Okay, there's a difference between analysis and aggregation. Aggregation is just adding numbers over top of each other. So executives don't ask for aggregates, they ask for change, growth, decline. Okay, executives don't ask for aggregates. So executives don't ask for aggregates, they ask for change, growth, and decline. And this is really the case because executives don't care about the aggregation. They don't want to know these values, they already know. They want to know whether it changed from the previous year, or how, what, and what type of decisions they took which resulted in that change, so that they can improve their strategic thinking. Okay, so it is fair enough. So now ChatGPT has given me a code, and it has explained this code. Now this whole code, if you read it, is a long code, but it is very simple, it is pretty logical. Okay, now the code starts, if you see why ChatGPT was saying that I was correct somehow, it was because I did the initial step correctly. The initial step was to calculate the total sales for each year. Okay, to calculate the total sales for each year, which I have done perfectly here at this point. Okay, with some changes it would work out, but the main thing was the year on year change, which I couldn't. So this thing, this code is pretty much same whatever I have written here in as my query. Okay, and it would be giving me this result, and he wants this result. But the second thing, it is this, the year on year change. This is the year on year change calculation. Okay, so now we would going again from the beginning. Now whenever we use with in SQL, that means it's part of modern SQL where we use it to use the common table expression, CTEs. Okay, Now, what are CTEs? They are common table expression. They are used instead of the nested queries or the sub queries, which we have done on the average order value, if you remember, okay, in this video, which we have done. So instead of that, we use the CTEs. Okay, so what are the CTEs? So before explaining this to you, when I got these results, I don't want to ask directly from ChatGPT, so I asked the Google. I have written the whole code here. I explained him the whole code, and I said just explain it to me step by step. So Google just said that whatever you have seen here, it is called CTE. Okay, it's a common table expression which is used with function to organize the logic into two clean steps. Okay, aggregating the data and then calculating the change. So whatever I have done here, I aggregated. ChatGPT also told me that I was aggregating, but I was not calculating the change, and I have to calculate the change uh, in the same query. I have to first aggregate the whole data, and then I have to calculate the change in the same query. I have to calculate the same. I have to calculate the year-on-year change in the same queries. That is why it is using the CTE, common table expression. The common table expression. So this was the aggregation which I did. Okay, I aggregated the data perfectly, but when it comes to the year-on-year change, I struggled. So it is saying that the Google is saying that this code is an example, a prime example of CTE, common table expression, where we want to organize two logics into two clean steps uh, according to our needs. First is we want to aggregate the data, and then we are calculating the change. Simple. Okay, so here is a step-by-step breakdown which Google has done for me. The CTE, okay, common table expression, with yearly sales as. So with yearly sales as, this part creates temporary summary table. This part creates temporary summary table in computer's memory. Okay, it creates a summary table, and then we are using these joins and everything which is already here. So it is just to create the nested to create the CTE with. Okay, so our whole aggregation was just single giant logic, and it is going to return a single these values, and it is going to create a temporary table up there, and then we would be moving towards the year on year comparison. Okay, so the main logic here it is that now that we have yearly totals, we use Windows function to compare them. Okay, now we use the Windows function. So what is the Windows function? Windows function is the leg total sales over order by sales. This is the time machine. It looks there the row above the current one to grab the last year's sales. Okay, so the year on year change, this subtracts last year from this year. Okay, and raw dollar increase or decrease. The trick is this: visualizing CTE. Okay, main select runs photos. It sees total sales $120. You can wrap up the growth rate in this format. Okay, you should try to combine every. Okay, so this is the CTE. We have got a temporary table here to be executed in the next step, because we have first aggregated the whole total sales, and then we have compared the year on year comparison. Okay, so then we have used the data from the aggregation part, and we have solved for our year on year change. Now if you see in the year, if you see what was a little bit changed about our code, it was the width. Okay, it was with. So width is sales, and select dim customer calendar year. Okay, so we want to select the calendar year. We want to select the calendar year as sales year. Okay, sales year, fair enough. Some sales amount is total sales, it's fine. Dim date on the joining them, calendar year, it's everything. Rest is fine with only. Okay, the only thing which we want to do here is right now with yearly with yearly yearly sales is is calendar year. Okay, is it fine? Let's try to run it. Okay, okay. Let's. No, it's not working.